Hey everyone, welcome back to another video. For today's video, I am going to be doing a declutter video, and I have a few fragrances that I'm going to be decluttering from my perfume collection. Before I get started, if you are new to my channel, welcome. My name is Amy. I do videos on fragrance, beauty, self-care, and body care. If you like that type of content, don't forget to subscribe and also hit the notification bell so that you're notified whenever I upload a new video. And if you are a returning subscriber, welcome back. How are you guys doing today? I am so happy to have you here with me, and I appreciate all of the love and the support. With that said, let's get right into this declutter. Alright guys, so before I get started, I apologize for my super flat hair. This past weekend, I went to go get, it's pretty much like a keratin treatment, just a little bit different. I think it's a little bit stronger, so I got that done. I cut my hair a little bit, nothing crazy. It's still long. I just gave it a different shape, and I just needed to cut the ends, so it's pretty healthy. I didn't dye it or anything. I just did that treatment, but I can't wash it for a few days, and it's so straight that it's just literally like flat on my head. But yeah, I just want to go ahead and get started with this declutter. Before I get started with this declutter, I feel like I always have to give a disclaimer when it comes to declutter videos, because a lot of people get a little bit touchy about the whole declutter situation. I just want to remind you that I am a perfume collector, and on top of that, I do fragrance reviews and I do videos on YouTube. So because of that, I'm always going to be buying the latest perfumes, what's new. You know, it's just something that I enjoy doing. But what I do not enjoy is a super huge collection. I don't like the feeling of having an outrageous amount of perfumes in my collection. So when I do a declutter, sometimes it might mean that I totally hate a fragrance, but for the most part, sometimes I just declutter because I'm not giving that fragrance enough use. Maybe it's just not my style anymore. I'm not feeling it. There's just so many different reasons why, but I like doing them because I like to keep you guys updated on what I'm getting out of my collection, what I'm bringing into my collection. And I just like to declutter to make space for the new fragrances coming in. I'm trying to keep my collection at a certain size. So yeah, I just don't feel the need to keep all of these. Some people have made comments saying fragrance YouTubers will recommend a fragrance and then turn around and get rid of it after I bought it, that type of comment. And honestly, I feel like at the end of it all, you are always in charge of your finances. You're in charge of what you decide to purchase, what you decide to add to your collection. Don't ever buy something strictly because a YouTuber has it or because a YouTuber is showing it. We're just here to give our experience, if we like it, if we don't like it, but we are not here to force you into buying something. So with that being said, those of you who understand and like to watch declutters, this one's for you guys. So let's go ahead and let's begin. So the first one I'm going to be talking about is, actually I'm going to start with a few that already left my collection. So those I will be putting pictures on the screen. The first fragrance that I got rid of, I would say a month or two ago. I think I gave that one to my husband's grandmother. I got rid of Olympea Intense. Olympea Intense. In my haul, I thought that I was going to enjoy the Intense better than the original, but it turns out that I prefer the original. The Intense gets way too thick on my skin, kind of the way that This Is Her by Sadig and Gaultier, how I described that as like a very goopy, thick fragrance. Olympea Intense did the same exact thing. I'm not sure if it has amber, but I think that might be my issue and why I can't wear it. It just smells too thick on my skin, and I do live in Puerto Rico, so it's not ideal for me. Like, I'm not going to give it too much use because you can literally count the cool days here with your hands. Like, there's not much cool weather. It's tropical, it's beachy, it's warm. So I bought it and I like the scent of it. I think that somewhere cold and just colder weather, it would be way easier to wear, but here it's just, I couldn't really find place or a time to wear it. So I did give that one away. The next one that I decluttered is the Britney Spears Fantasy Intense, which was in a recent haul. And unfortunately, I didn't get the sweeter notes in that one. I didn't get the cupcake. I didn't get a lot of the sweet notes. And instead, I got more of the sour tart notes in that fragrance. And then the patchouli kind of took over. And when I did wear it completely and gave it a full wear test, my husband didn't enjoy it. He told me that it smelled too mature for him, which is so crazy because Britney Spears Fantasy, I used to wear the original one when I was in high school, so I don't consider it a mature scent at all. But to his nose, he just didn't like it. And then I didn't enjoy it while I had it on. So it's not a bad fragrance at all, again, but it just didn't work with my skin. So that's the main problem that I have, is just either when something gives me a headache or it just doesn't mesh well with my skin. I could probably smell it on someone else and think that it's beautiful. So it just didn't work out on me. The next one that I decluttered is Ariana Grande's God Is a Woman. This one, from the start, I kind of had like a love-hate relationship with it. I felt like it was a very pretty fragrance. It reminded me of Radiant Nectar from Clean Reserve. But it just did this thing where I would smell it and then I wouldn't smell it. It didn't last at all on my skin. I would spray it and then literally like an hour later, I felt like I didn't apply any fragrance to my skin. And it's just probably me and my skin, because I know many people actually love God Is a Woman. Right after gifting that one to my sister, I ended up getting Burberry Her EDT, which gives me those same vibes. And that one lasts an eternity on me. So I kind of replaced that one with the Burberry Her EDT and it worked out perfect. I am super in love with Burberry EDT and I really feel satisfaction when I get rid of something and replace it with something that I know I'm going to go through. I know that it's like an easy reach for me and I don't have to think too much about it. So I'm just trying to purge all of that out of my collection so that I can truly enjoy the ones that I truly just am obsessed with. So next up, I got rid of Dolce & Gabbana Love Is Love, which, oh my God, that scent is such a beautiful scent. There's raspberry in there. It still has that light blue DNA, but it's just a little bit more fruity. It's sweet. It's such a beautiful fragrance. But the way that that fragrance disappears on my skin, it's just wrong. Like I would spray it. I literally put a dent in it, like a pretty big dent in that one, because I would spray it and then 15 minutes later I wanted the scent again and it was gone. So I just kept on spraying and then I said, okay, this is too much. I don't mind taking my scent with me and reapplying after a few hours, but if I have to do it every few minutes, then what is the point of paying for the fragrance and having it and then literally not enjoying it, not being able to smell it on you? So I got rid of that one. I don't think that it smells bad. I don't hate it or anything, but the longevity on my skin just sucked. So I did give that one to my sister when she came to visit me. She picked that one out. I also got rid of Sofia Vergara's Love fragrance. And that one, I did love that fragrance. I think that it's still an amazing fragrance. And if you're looking for a celebrity fragrance that gives off vibes kind of like black opium, perfect for nighttime, perfect for the evening, I would definitely recommend that one as an affordable option. But the reason I got rid of it is because I already have black opium in my collection and I was reaching for that over the Sofia Vergara one. So when that happens, I just don't want to have too much of the same thing in my collection. So it reminded me too much of that fragrance, so I did get rid of that one. The next one I do have here, my mom is coming to visit me very soon, so I have pretty much a whole bin ready for her in case she wants to pick out some fragrances to take with her. And I'm going to be getting rid of this one, which is, I have struggled so much with this fragrance and it's kind of like I was forcing myself, like, you have to like it. And I just don't. Like, I can't, this is another one that I can't find a place, a time to wear it. And then on top of that, my husband absolutely hates it. So there's no changing his mind. I've gone up to him randomly, not telling him what I have on. And I'm like, hey, does this smell good? And he's like, no, it doesn't. Every single time he does not like it. And this is La Belle Le Parfum, which is pretty much like the intense version of La Belle. I absolutely love the bottle. And let me tell you that when I spray this fragrance, I love it. Almost gives me like cherry vibes in there. And I think that it smells so good. Like, I really like the scent of this one over the original La Belle because the vetiver in the La Belle was way too much. But again, the heat here, it just makes it impossible for me to wear these types of fragrances. I can't do it. But it smells, I really like, it has like this cherry scent to it that the original one doesn't have. So it's pretty much like the original La Belle. I don't get as much vetiver. There's still vetiver in there, but with like the sexy cherry added to it, and it's a little bit more like syrupy. I don't think this one just isn't, it's just not for me, and my husband doesn't like it, so it's literally just sitting there not getting any love. So hopefully when my mom comes, she'll like this one. I would love to get her reaction to this one because I feel like she might like it, but I'm not sure. Moving on to another, a lot of these are celebrity fragrances. Not sure why, but I got rid of a ton this time around. But this next one, I know that you guys wanted an update on this one. I told you guys that I would update you on it, and unfortunately it's not going to stay in my collection. And this is Britney Spears Believe. I love the color of the bottle, and it's like so pretty to look at, isn't it? Like, I think it's really, really nice. But the problem with this one, and the reason why I got this one, and the reason so many of you guys recommended this one to me, is because I have been telling you guys that I love guava in my fragrances. But this is guava mixed with a ton of patchouli. And if you guys know me, you guys know that patchouli is just a hit or a miss for me. It can either help a fragrance or it can totally ruin it for me. And this one, when I spray it on the paper, it actually smells really good. It smells very like refreshing, and I think I prefer it on a paper than on my skin. But when I wore this one, it reminded me a lot of JLo's Miami Glow. So instead of it being passion fruit, I believe is what's in JLo Miami Glow, then just switch it out with some guava. It kind of gives me the same vibes. It has like this sparkling effect to the fragrance. And weirdly enough, on my skin, something about this fragrance started turning like minty on me, and like very like men's aftershave or something, like something for a man. Kind of like how Irish Spring has like that cool type of manly scent. Like, that's something that only, like, I wouldn't want to shower with that, but I like to smell it on my man. That's kind of the vibe that this was giving me on my skin, which was super weird. And I'm sure that on some people this probably smells amazing, because I know that a few of you have recommended it to me. But on my skin, it's just that patchouli loves to jump out of my skin, and many times changes a fragrance so much. So this one will not be staying in my collection. Okay, another one that I'm getting rid of, and again, this is not because of the smell, but because of longevity, is Britney Spears VIP Private Show. As you can see, this is pretty much almost halfway done, and I probably only wore it 2 times. And I did that much of a dent on it because literally 15 minutes tops, the fragrance is gone. I even tried layering it with Bath & Body Works Raspberry Chiffon, which has that raspberry in it to make it pop, and it just disappears on my skin. It doesn't last at all. I already have that type of skin that eats fragrance, and then when a fragrance is not long lasting, it's just a disaster for me. This is such a beautiful raspberry fruity fragrance. So good. It's so good. I might be giving this one to my daughter, and I feel like this would smell really, really nice on her. and it's not too strong. She's turning 11, so I think this one I'm just gonna give it over to her. All right, this next one is a fragrance that has been discontinued, but this one gives me a headache. And although I think that the smell is really pretty, it's not for me. And this is Dolce & Gabbana Rose Excelsa. I love the frosted bottle, like the glass on here. It's so beautiful. But the day that I wore this, like fully tested out, first of all, it was very strong, and I kept smelling myself with this one, which I like because fragrances don't really last on my skin. But the rose it's just a very strong, heady floral type of fragrance, so you have to be okay with florals being the star of the show. Usually I like a floral if there's a little bit of fruit in it, or if there's something just making it a little bit less sharp. But this one, it's like, if I was to use this one, I would not be able to overspray, and it would literally have to be like 2 to 3 sprays because it's a strong one. But I just feel like it's not really my type of scent. I think that it's very beautiful, very pretty. It's a classy fragrance. It smells very girly, very put together, but I prefer my original Dolce over this one, and they kind of have such similar vibes. So I don't really have the need to keep this one in my collection. Up next, I'm going to be getting rid of this Zara fragrance, and this is Rose Gourmand. I noticed that, and this is something that Rebecca Cayazo made me think of. She mentioned this a while back, and it kind of clicked in my head, and it made a lot of sense. So she was saying how she just doesn't enjoy that Rose's Vanille type of scent, and that she likes to smell it from the bottle, which is same thing that's happening to me. I absolutely love smelling this in the bottle. It is a strong fragrance. There's the rose, but then it's sweet because of the vanilla. But when I wear this fragrance, I just don't feel like it's me. It doesn't really go with me, and it kind of gives me a little bit of a headache. It's very strong. And I noticed that I have a dupe for Maison Francis Kurkdjian's Gentle Fluidity Gold, and that has kind of the same DNA. So Rebecca kind of mentioned that, and then I went and I sniffed my dupe fragrance for that, and it's true, but that one is way more tolerable for me. I enjoy it more. I can wear it, and it doesn't have that. This one just has, like, if the sweetness was maybe dialed back a little bit, it would work on my body, but it's super sweet. And then ever since I got the Bath & Body Works, the Whipped Rose Latte, that collection gives me that same type of scent, but it's not overpowering. So I like to use that one, and I can just layer that with my Gentle Fluidity Gold dupe. So I'm not going to be using this. So I'm going to also see if my mom likes this one, because the longevity on these Zara fragrances it's undescribable. This thing will last you, like, you will apply it, and if you were to go to bed, like you were to spend a whole day with this, go to bed, wake up the next day, you would probably still smell yourself like days later. So I hope that she likes it so that she can give this one love. Next, I'm going to be getting rid of this Sarah Jessica Parker NYC Crush. And I don't know, I have a lot of reasons why I'm getting rid of this. The first one is I cannot stand this packaging. I know that the packaging doesn't have anything to do with the fragrance, but if I'm gonna have this type of packaging, what's inside needs to blow my mind for me to be able to say, okay, I will let you stay. But it just takes up so much space. And then this is the bottle of it, which I could just keep the bottle, but it's a really nice, like, coconut vanilla type of fragrance. Really, really pretty. It's very creamy. It's like tonic in a way. Sweet coconut and vanilla type of scent, but it's just not, I don't know, I'm not enjoying this one. And when I wear it, it turns almost, again, which is hard for me to say because I love sweet fragrances, but this one almost turns like sickly sweet on my skin. I think that it's a really nice bedtime fragrance, and I would probably just wear it for that. But since I'm trying to make space in my collection and I noticed that I'm not reaching for it as much, I'm going to be giving this one away. Okay, another one that I'm going to be getting rid of, which I'm kind of sad that I'm not going to keep it, but again, I think that this is a weather thing with this one. This is the Laura Mercier Ambre Vanille. I went back and forth with this one. I was iffy about it in my haul. Then I recommended it for, I don't remember if it was my Gourmand fragrances, but I know I recommended it in one of my videos. So I ended up recommending it, and then because when I did wear it, I think I was wearing it like around fall time. It was really, really nice and strong, and it lasted a really long time on me. But this fragrance, I don't know if it's, I believe it's clementine or tangerine or something that's in here, but it's kind of funny. Some days it doesn't really show up, and then some days it does, and it kind of makes the fragrance turn like sour on me, which a lot of you guys had the same experience in the comment section. So if it wasn't for that, this would be one of the most beautiful, perfect vanilla fragrances in my collection, because it has such a comforting vibe to it. And it layers so nice with the Bum Bum cream. But just that one little note tends to bother me a lot. So this is another one that I'm going to be saying bye-bye to. Another one that I decluttered is Michel Germain's Sexual Sugar, which I was in love with that fragrance for quite a few months. I would say almost a year. But I kind of just got tired of that one. I know that that happens to many people. You just kind of use a fragrance a lot, and then you end up just kind of getting bored or tired of the fragrance. So I think I gave that one to my sister when she came over, and she was really excited about that one. So I'd rather give it to someone that is going to use it up, because that was a pretty big bottle. And the reason why I got rid of it is because after getting the Bath & Body Works, I believe it's the Love Mist and the body lotion, that smelled almost identical to that perfume. And I was only wearing the Sexual Sugar more for like everyday type of scent, or like just, it's a very girly fragrance. I don't find it like something that's like for the evening or anything like that. So I can just use my body mist and my lotion and get rid of some, you know, make some space in my collection. The next one I also got rid of is the Zara Nuit. And I got rid of that one for a specific reason. And I'm also, I know, I can't even believe that I'm saying this, because I totally loved this fragrance when I hauled it. But the reason why I'm getting rid of this is because I have too much of the same thing. You guys know that I absolutely love Dior's Hypnotic Poison. This is one that I'm always going to have in my collection, because I find it very cuddly, very fluffy, very sweet, nutty. I think it's beautiful. But I realized that I had way too many fragrances that smelled almost exactly the same. So I got rid of the Zara Nuit because it smelled pretty much identical to Hypnotic Poison. And that one was giving me kind of like a nauseous type of feeling, because the Hypnotic Poison, it has something in here. I'm not sure if it's licorice that's in here, but it kind of stops the fragrance from getting cloying. But the Zara one, it was like just way too sweet on my skin, and it was just almost like suffocating to me. So I did get rid of that one. And I'm also going to be getting rid of the Kenzo Amour. I think that this bottle is the most ugly bottle in my collection. It just, I don't like it. And when I spray this one, I sprayed it side by side with the Hypnotic Poison, and yeah, they're a little tiny bit different, but I think that when I sprayed them side by side, I could almost not tell the difference. They just give off such similar vibes, so I feel like I have too much of the same thing. So this one is not one that I don't like, because I do like this scent. It's beautiful. But I'd rather just have my Hypnotic Poison and call it a day. Just have this one. I don't need 3 fragrances that smell almost identical to each other. So this one is going to be gifted. Up next, I am going to be decluttering Ariana Grande's Thank You Next 2.0. I'm going to be giving this one to my daughter. The packaging is so adorable. It's so cute. I think this is perfect for a teenager, for a preteen, for a girl in her teen years. And I know many adult women who still enjoy this type of fragrance. But to me, although it's really, really nice, I get like an apple juice vibe from this one, and it just makes me think of like the little Mott's apple juice, like for the toddlers. Ever since I got the Kayali Eden, which is juicy apple, it smells like juicy apples to me, but it smells like a grown juicy apples. It has that musk in there. It just has just that womanly touch to it, and I feel like it just makes this one feel a little too juvenile for me, and I prefer kind of like that more grown woman, just sexy vibe. This one, I feel like it's just gonna be really nice for my daughter. So yeah, I'm going to, it still smells amazing. So if you love this fragrance, wear it, because I think that it's beautiful. If someone walks past me wearing this, I'm gonna compliment them. They smell amazing. But I know that I'm not going to reach for it myself personally as much as I should. So this is another one that is going to go away. Another one that I am going to declutter, unfortunately, I just hauled this not so long ago. And again, I loved it so much when I hauled it. And I am so sad that I'm not going to keep it. And you know what? I'm not completely sure about it. I think I'm going to give it one more chance. But this is the Britney Spears Fantasy Intimate Edition. I think the bottle is so beautiful, and I love the opening of this fragrance. It is so amazing for me. I feel like it's the perfect bedtime scent. Oh, the opening is amazing. Like I honestly, I'm gonna try it again and see what happens. But what I feel with this one is that I spray it, I get that amazing opening, and then it just starts drying down on my skin, and literally like 20 minutes later, I could barely smell it. It turns into a very like super skin scent, and it just loses that beautiful burst of notes in the opening that I get. And there's a note in there that bothers me a little bit in the dry down. Like when it's completely dried down, it kind of, I don't know, it just turns so different. The opening, and it's my skin, because when I smell it on the paper, it smells really nice. But once it touches my skin and it mixes with my skin, there's something that comes out that I don't like, and it makes me super sad with this one, because the opening of this one, I find it so beautiful. It kind of reminds me of like a baby powder scent, but like a grown expensive baby powder, not your baby powder. I don't even know if that makes any sense, but it just feels like a very powdery, clean, sweet scent, perfect for bedtime. But it changes on my skin in the dry down, and it turns into like this, almost like a musky, in like a body odor type of way. Not nasty like that, but like if it was going that route. So sad, because I really, really wanted to keep that one. I wanted to love it, and it's just not working out for me on my skin. This next one is another one that I hauled recently, and I asked you guys in the comment section if you guys had the same experience, because I was not expecting it to be so masculine on my skin. And this is Chloe Nomade. So I am going to be asking my mom if she likes this one so that she could take it, because I know that she tends to like very like deep fragrances. And this one, I tried it again recently, and it opens up. It almost reminds me of a cologne that my grandpa used to wear in Chicago. It kind of makes me think of him. It opens up so masculine, and it stays masculine. It reminds me of my grandpa's cologne that he used to wear. And I'm going to ask my mom when she comes over to smell it and see if she smells the same thing, because which the cologne that I'm talking about is Drakkar. Is it Drakkar? It's a fragrance that like from the 90s, I think, or probably older, I don't know, but it smells really good on a man. I remember smelling that on my family members for like Christmas, for parties, and it smells so good, but I'm not trying to smell like that. This is kind of strong. It does turn more feminine towards the dry down, but on my skin, this is pretty much like a men's cologne. So I'm not going to be able to rock with this one, unfortunately. I do want to give the EDT a try because you guys told me that the EDT was much better. And the last fragrance that I'm going to be decluttering, this is another one that I really wanted to enjoy, but it's very like 50-50 with this one. Some days I enjoy it, and then recently it's kind of been giving me a headache, unfortunately. And this is the Nina Ricci Chant d'Extase, or Chant Extase. I love the bottle. I love the look of it, and I think that it's a really, really nice fragrance. It has a burst of ginger in there. It has caramel. It has like C notes, I believe. Raspberry. It's a very, very unique blend of notes, and it smells really, really nice. But I do have other raspberry fragrances that kind of smell similar, and they don't give me a headache. So I kind of don't want to take the chance with this one anymore, because when I get a headache with fragrances, it's like one of the worst. It just ruins my mood for the day. So I think that it still smells nice. I think that it still smells very like spicy, fresh in the opening from the ginger, and then you get like a sweetness, and then you get like this. It's a lot. It's not a linear fragrance at all. This one just goes up and down, gives you different notes, and I think that it's super unique. But unfortunately, not trying to get headaches. So this one's going to be decluttered. And then I'm just going to see if my mom wants this Replica When the Rain Stops, the travel size that I reviewed for you guys. I don't really see myself. Yeah, I don't even think she's gonna like this one, to be honest, because I kind of already know her taste. But yeah, this is one that I'm not going to reach for. The first time that I ever smelled it, I did like it way more. And I was tempted to go on Sephora and purchase a full-size bottle. But I had sprayed this one on one hand, and on the other hand, I had just received the Viktor and Rolf Flower Bomb Ruby Orchid. So maybe I was just getting kind of a mixture of those two when I was sniffing it. But if I smell this one like completely on its own, it's not really for me. So that brings me to the end of my declutter video. I hope that you guys enjoyed it. I got rid of quite a few fragrances, so I have a little bit of space for all the new fragrances that I have been getting lately into my collection. I hope that you guys enjoyed it. Comment down below any fragrances that you recently decluttered, that you used to love, or that you actually use and all of a sudden you're decluttering them. I would love to hear what those fragrances are. Please subscribe if you haven't subscribed, and I will see you guys in my next video.
Boy, I've been watching you. Boy, I've been watching you.